And this one time, there were these kids that just kind of sat down, and two Hispanic kids. They were just transfixed. They were bilingual, there was some Spanish and mixed in with English, and these kids were just kind of glued. Like they were watching TV, but they were watching this show, and it was real life. And what I was seeing in their eyes, how they were just so mesmerized what was happening on stage, and I just feel that there was a connection that was there. And that was beautiful.
Come you, my lord, to see my open shame. Now thou dost penance too, look how they gaze. See how the giddy multitude do point and nod their heads and throw their eyes on thee. Methinks I should not thus be led along, mailed up in shame with papers on my back, and followed with a rabble that rejoice to see my tears and hear my deep fet groans. There you go.
The way that he writes it, he really was the perfect playwright. The way that he wrote his script, the Shakespearean verse, was basically designed so that it would feel good coming out of the mouth of a person. Iambic pentameter, it feels natural when you say it. I always loved that about Shakespeare. I thought that was really, really cool.
I can no other answer make but thanks, and ever oft good turns are shuffled off with such uncurrent pay.
I must go seek some dewdrops here and hang a pearl in every cowslip's ear.
My favorite line of Shakespeare, that's an easy one. This has been sort of a personal motto of mine my whole life. This above all else, to thine own self be true.
This is not a task for the faint of heart. Mounting a Shakespeare production that's well done requires precision, expertise, thought, intention, great direction, wonderful performers, great tech staff, amazing costumers, point of view, and that only hits a few of the highlights. And so these require, beyond anything else, the exquisite talent we have at Austin Shakespeare, they have to have the tools to work.
Kids who are shyer, kids who are sometimes the smart Alex, not Alex, smart Alex. We see it all the time, and it's, in a sense, not a surprise. I think we all know it and recognize it, and it's more of an aha experience. That's what we're looking for.
Well, for several years, I had been going to Shakespeare in the Park, and I was just blown away by the performances, and I really thought that I needed to get involved with something like that. I auditioned last year, and I just remember they had such a holistic approach to auditioning the kids, really made us feel comfortable. What I really enjoy about Shakespeare is the language and how he uses that language to really bring his characters to life.
Any linguist would tell you that our perception of the world and of ideas are shaped by the words that we use to describe them. Current society places an emphasis on quantity of communication, of speed of communication.
Going to the theater was a very important part of my experience growing up.
What I think it means to a young child is that the world of the imagination does not have to stop, because young children are very imaginative. I mean, as we know, they're putting on bath towels and flying through the backyard. I go with the life of the imagination and the energy that it brings. So you write it, you speak it, you name it, you claim it, and then they begin to see themselves because they give words to who they are and what they hope.
So 3 of the kids said, oh, we're going to audition, we're excited about it, and I had, oh my gosh, we made it. So I thought, well, okay, let's see, and turned out, I went and watched them, and I was just really, really impressed because I knew those kids and I knew their level, and I had been working with them for years, and so I kind of was like, okay, this is what I expect out of them. And then when I went and saw the performance, I mean, they had just morphed into this whole nother level.
You yourself are one person, but as an actor, you can become, people from all different walks of life, and that's just an amazing opportunity. Not many people can do that, and if you have that sort of experience, it just lets you learn a bit about yourself and become someone else, have different experiences that you wouldn't have otherwise.
And I love the idea of the fact that in theater, if you have a character, you can literally, a good actor can become that character.
People who have not been exposed to it until they're senior citizens get a chance to see Shakespeare done right. They understand everything about it, and it's transformative.
I believe that with enough support, we can create a nationally known Shakespeare company that is housed in Austin, Texas.
So having that in this city and having Ann and Alex being able to lead the company toward works of Shakespeare and works of classical theater that are for Austin and about Austin is, I think, just thrilling.
I think there are lots of people that share our values, and sometimes we forget that sharing our values means to put your money where your values are.
And for us, the overwhelming majority of our funding comes from individuals, people who come to see our shows or who have kids who are in our productions. We provide the community with a production that is free every year. And I think that's something that people can take a lot of pride in. So we are hoping that people will be motivated to preserve that.
You can't plan without multi-year giving. You've got to know where you are. It lets you know how to plan your life, how to plan your seasons, and how to be deliberate and intentional about what you do. This is the time where we contribute to, nurture, and take care of the things we genuinely value. I would trust, hope, and believe that one of those is the continuance of a very vibrant Shakespeare Festival in Austin or Shakespeare Experience in Austin.